another live stream session. Here's Ignacio Palomera, CEO and co-founder of Bondex, and I have the pleasure of having Zach Friedman with us from GDA Capital. The stats from Global Digital Asset Capital, and as you know, we're the Web3 for the blockchain industry. And without further ado, I'll let Zach introduce himself and his company.
Thank you so much, Ignacio, and great to be chatting with you all today. Excited to have some targeted discussions around the market and the Web3 community. So thanks for putting this on. My name is Zach Friedman, and I'm currently the COO and a founder at GDA Capital. We're a multifaceted investment bank focused around the digital asset sector. We have services, that really span across the entire ecosystem. So we were founded about 5 years ago, primarily with a digital asset brokerage, but we've since expanded into asset management, digital asset advisory, token issuance, and we have a very large Web3 portfolio that's been a lot of my focus and attention over the last year, really helping to develop and build in different silos of the industry. We have, we own Metaverse Group, which is one of our subsidiary COs. That's a vertically integrated estate developer in the Metaverse. We are, actively targeting blue chip Metaverse real estate to both buy, develop, and lease that land out to, new incumbents, financial groups that are looking to enter the space. We're working with a lot of amazing brands looking to pivot and adopt a Web3 strategy. And something I'm personally very excited for is the upcoming Fashion Week that's occurring in Decentraland, to which is we own a large 100-acre estate in the fashion district in Decentraland, and we'll be hosting a variety of different activations and engagements, from catwalks to luxury boutiques, and a full showcase of Metaverse skins and wearables. We're also supporting brands on purchasing land across different metaverses from our brokerage, helping them actually identify and go through the process of those transactions. And lastly, we also have NFT Basel, which is a luxury art market boutique and event that we've had 3 flagship events across the world. Our next one is in Bahrain during the F1 event, where we'll be showcasing luxury artists across our marketplace, really fully integrated, helping them both launch their NFTs and then sell it to diverse audiences. But yeah, I could definitely keep going into different silos. I'll kind of leave it there because we do quite a bit. And Ignacio, feel free to kick off.
That's very, very impressive, guys. And here you have it, folks. This is cutting edge Metaverse and NFT as you get. I guess, we have a number of questions to ask, but what I'd like to know is, from your perspective, since you're so much into real estate developer, what does it mean to be a developer in the Metaverse real estate space?
Yeah, so I think right now, brands understand, are starting to comprehend the demand and the shift into a Web3 environment. There's a lot of interest in starting to develop these strategies, and they're trying to contemplate how to, come in and build a presence. When I mentioned development, I mean specifically helping with the architecture, but also the greater strategy. So we have the ability to support, actually building stages, stadiums, experiences, shopping centers through, our service providing arm of the business. But, we try and really help those groups come in with a fully integrated strategy. So understanding, how can I target my demographic and audience? What does this mean? If I'm a casino, great, we help them build the casino, but integrate different gaming partners, players and experiences.
That is super interesting. So my next question will go in. Okay, so brands, classic virtual industries that are going into it, that already have maybe a Web2 format, like a casino or gambling, are going to the Metaverse, and you can own that real estate, or as you said, in fashion. What type of jobs are we going to have in that type of Metaverse in the real estate space? Because obviously we're not going to be in need of the classic builders that are going to need you build your building, right? What are the jobs that this is going to create? What type of skills would people need to learn to be able to join that market, that job market?
For sure. I think there's a unique form of design and architecture to start. Research and analytics is obviously a key point of any emerging industry, helping identify the trends, the metrics, and the general growth of the industry, is really important. So we're hiring actually a full Metaverse team right now that includes advisors, consultants, analysts, research partners. We are not hiring the actual architecture and development. We're working with a partner on it. That would be for that category. In more of a broader context of Web3 in the NFT space, I think that, a full service of designers, 3D animators, developers that can help create those NFT contracts, build the applications across really play to earn experiences, where to earn experiences. That's like, I really think there's going to be a huge inflow of required talent from technical and creative kind of frameworks.
Well, there you hear it, folks. If you're a designer today, if I was you, I'd be learning some skills that are going to be able to be applicable to the metaverse, which I think is the next great frontier and limitless economic opportunity. And right now, the funding and the demand for those type of careers and skills is here, and the supply is here. So learning those skills will make you take advantage of that arbitrage and make a fantastic career for yourself. And Zach, I'd like to zoom in on you personally now. So go ahead.
Ignacio, like exactly to that point, I just got out of a conversation with a colleague. We have, a significant amount of demand for groups looking for this type of service. We're trying to build an entire team. I think currently still on my, even on my Instagram page, I have 3 outstanding roles I posted for just that, like helping to fully build out the team. These are, world first opportunities. I can't imagine there's many metaverse focused real estate brokers or metaverse designers, and right now it's super hot demand. I personally need to hire. So,
well, guys, you just heard that. If any of the Bondex community out there wants to get into metaverse real estate, you cannot imagine working on something more cutting edge and exciting than that, reach out to GDA Capital. They're looking for talent. I encourage everyone to do it. And now I'd like to focus in on you, Zach. I want to know how, for example, just so you know, I love that you said we're a Web3 investment bank. Let's say. So I come from traditional investment banking. So do 2 of the other co-founders. We're Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, HSBC guys. We've jumped into Web3. I think we bring a great kind of professional acumen to the industry. So I'd want to hear from you. How did you transition from Web2, from traditional industry into Web3? What was your personal journey with that?
So, my background prior to getting into the digital asset space was actually as a technology entrepreneur. I was involved as the head of growth in a fast-paced consumer social startup in San Francisco. I had started some of my own ventures and was really focused across most of the non-technical service suite. So, entrepreneurial, building businesses, marketing, etc. I stumbled into digital assets in 2015 and, haven't really looked back. Like I dove down the proverbial rabbit hole and quickly got excited. And I really tried to bring that framework, to bear, the continuously innovating at the edge and building where we can within the portfolio and umbrella. So the bigger scope of what we're trying to build with GDA Capital is kind of what does a merchant bank or investment bank 3.0 look like? And like, what does Goldman Sachs in the modern world look like? And that really targets the full intersection. So Web3 being one important vertical of what we're building in, but we're also trying to build products and services. Like we have 2 funds that we're launching to help bring in traditional capital. We have, the service arm for helping companies adopt a blockchain strategy. I think that in 2021, it's imperative on major corporations to look at a Web3 and a blockchain strategy, just as they looked at digital and social and mobile as those were emerging, trends over the past 15 years. And what does that mean? How can they use their IP, their user base, and integrate it for a modern world to, be ahead of the curve, avoid disruption. And, that includes blockchain NFTs at its core across so many different sectors. So
I like that. What I'm hearing actually very aligns very much with Bondex. So for everyone out there, Bondex is a bridge, an oracle for people to come from traditional industry as well as crypto natives into having a job in Web3, which encompasses metaverse, blockchain, crypto, and NFTs play to earn, everything you can imagine. So you are more focused. You're the same thing, I think. You're a bridge, but more on the business development side for classic organizations to actually transition into Web3, right? And I think that's a massive undertaking and something that needs to happen. And if you're a crypto or a decentralization maximalist, right, you don't like this type of approach. But we at Bondex, and I think at GDA Capital, from what I'm hearing, is actually, in order for blockchain and Web3 to succeed, we need the mainstream companies and institutions to come our way. We want the IBMs, or in your case, the banks, the Goldman Sachs of the world, to be looking for blockchain talent, blockchain capabilities, and blockchain applications. What do you think about that?
I think it's very well said. I agree wholeheartedly. In order to live in a world, around like you need to bridge the gap, right? That's where a lot of the traditional capital sits, and the existing players that have the most distribution, they bring awareness to the space. I do believe in, public blockchains and more of a decentralized format in terms of my personal ethos. But when I first got into the space, my thought process was pretty simple. I was able to identify that, if I can help bring in sophisticated capital and, the institutional players into the space, like when capital flows, talent follows. And that's, where Bondex serves, is bringing in that talent into the ecosystem. With talent comes development and, better systems development, better experiences. Development leads to innovation, and innovation translates to adoption. The early days of the blockchain industry were very clunky, and it really took large scale interest from both, from these cohorts to really take things to the next level, where it was safe for the most talented and the more intelligent people to plant their flag in the sand, come move over into this rapidly emerging, shifting environment, seeing the opportunity and upside. Like, not everyone could just make a full leap without contemplating risk in their day-to-day lives. They need to see the momentum shift. And I believe that adoption happens from all sides. I just believe that bridging that gap is a core way to expedite the long-term world I want to live in.
I think that's a fantastic answer, and something I completely agree with. And that makes complete sense. Again, a lot of people would disagree with us if they're watching this. And, I would say that cryptocurrency or the blockchain space is more or less like religious factions in a way. So, I think we're in the more mainstream, and I think it's because we come from classic industry that we're able to appreciate that and have that view. And I think the only way that we do this is through creating bridges versus walled kind of environments in which these people can all be, I think the way of the future is interoperability. And actually, that drives me to the point about metaverses, right? We don't want the metas of the world being the metaverse. Since you're in the real estate metaverse world, I'd love to know, what is your view there on building the metaverse versus other public, or you guys building a real estate metaverse? What's that competition going to look like? How does that all look like?
I totally believe in I don't think siloed or private metaverses like Meta are the long-term solution. I think they'll face a lot of hurdles. The community, as you said, and some of the participants here have already reacted and shown that. We're building and developing in the public and open metaverses. That's what I'm most excited about, is providing the universal access and really building the forward-facing experience. But it does have its place. If you look historically at what has brought the most attention to our market, it's been large traditional players starting to enter the space. If you think of the impact of Apple announcing support for Bitcoin to their merchants, or traditional payments rails and incumbents of the world, it just permits the easier entry and exit into the space, or just it brings widespread adoption. I think that people will naturally find and trend towards the decentralized experience, because it's there's significant advantages, but I think that a step in the right direction through centralized parties is helpful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And that drives me into, okay, you guys are building on public blockchains. Give me some of the things that you're most excited about in the next 3 to 6 months that GDA Capital is working on in that field.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of ways to go there. We are like I think the trends for what we spoke about, companies adopting Web3 strategies, is just leads to so much. I think it's the there's like better support for influencers to monetize their audiences and have control. There's music applications and distribution rights. There's decentralized media platforms. The play to earn economy and the ability to really provide income streams for global markets that might not otherwise have access while they can sit at home and interact and earn capital. I think like Axie Infinity started such an amazing you know momentum push where we saw 500,000 people start to operate full time working within that ecosystem, so much so that the Filipino government had to enact legislation to tax the play to earn gains that they were making. I just think that it provides democratization of access. I think and that's such a stage one. Like play to earn will evolve into skill to earn. We'll see esports teams. We'll see leagues, marketing, like where to earn will definitely emerge. Where we see fashion brands using Web3 tools to support influencers that wear their clothes in the metaverse. I mean, I'm excited about a lot. There's a lot of fun stuff happening.
No, the applications are endless. I didn't know that about the Filipino government. That's fascinating. I think when you've seen the blockchain industry, we've seen Web 1 to Web 2 to mobile information age. Now we're seeing Web 3, right? And at first, when the governments first saw this, it's like, oh, this is not real money, blah, blah, blah. Now everyone's making money. Now it's real when they want to tax it. I find the transition very big, and now it's going to be, they're too large. We need to join them and then we need to regulate it. That's another subject that I'd like to go into. Since you're a real estate developer, what are the regulations of the traditional real estate market that you think will then translate, if there are any, into regulation into the metaverse real estate market?
I think because most metaverse assets are on top of existing blockchains. Let's take Ethereum, which is an ERC20 related metaverses. I guess you'll still need to be able to sell and broker land. You'll need the respective licensing as a money service business, a money transmitter license. Right now there's no clear classification of any of this as a security. So, yeah.
That's interesting, and let's hope that stays there for a long time. I guess the blockchain industry and Web3 keeps pushing new things that they haven't even completely regulated cryptocurrency. How are they even going to jump on metaverse and NFTs yet? Let's hope. I mean, I think the pace of disruption and innovation is going to be ahead of the pace that the government institutions are going to be able to keep up with. But guys, from everyone listening to that, I mean, become a real estate broker in the metaverse, a real estate advisor in the metaverse. These are opportunities that are unique to this period of time. You guys are in a window of time in which you're going to be able to learn skills that are in very high demand, and that arbitrage is going to let you become high earners. And Zach, we're now nearing the end of our conversation, and this is how we end all of our live streams. We now want your view of the market. We went into the bear market. A lot of people were crying bear for the next 6 months. We just bounced back about 40. This is not financial advice for everyone listening. This is not GDA's Capital formal advice or Bondex's formal investment advice. But Zach, what is your personal view of what the market is going to do in the near future? Do you think we're near a bear? Do you think that was a dead cat bounce and we're coming back? What is your view?
Yeah. So again, not financial advice. I believe that we're seeing rapidly increasing cycles in a greater super cycle here. And I do believe that we're not fully clearly out of the woods yet. I do believe there could be some, retraction here. We're still correlated pretty heavily to tradition, but we are seeing some momentum. Sentiment is shifting. I am still confident in a bullish 3 to 6 month period, and I think towards that than the latter.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you're right, Zach. And I hope everyone here at Bondex had a great time on this episode. Zach, are you still there?
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, I hope everyone really enjoyed. Again, everyone encouraged to check out GDA Capital, especially those outstanding jobs that they have. Real estate metaverse, really exciting stuff. Go check them out. And thank you for being with us today, Zach. Fantastic live stream. And I wish everyone to have a great end of the week and weekend.